Is it on? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll try and get through all 15 pages of this, so it won't take very long. On behalf of Marianne and Dan and Denise and I and our families, we would like to welcome you and thank you all for attending Heather's and Patrick's wedding. We know it's been a long trek to get here, and we certainly appreciate your attendance. I would like to propose a toast to the best son and daughter-in-law. Well, the daughter's a little debatable, but.
Wait, no, backwards, Chuck. The best son-in-law and daughter.
That's what I said, didn't I? All right, let's start over. I would like to propose a toast to the best son-in-law and daughter. Well, the daughter is debatable, okay? That we could ever ask for. Oh, by the way, Patrick, she comes with a 30-day warranty, no guarantees, no returns. So raise your glasses. Congratulations, finally, to Heather and Patrick. May you have many happy and prosperous years ahead of you, and welcome to our families. Thank you, and safe returns back home. How do I shut this off? Dad. What? Oh. Congratulations.
Last chance to call me off. I'm nervous. And I heard someone say this is scary in front of my own father, so. Now, I got this text last Saturday night at 10 p.m., and it said, speech, ... 2 to 3 minutes. Don't you dare try to memorize it. Put it on your phone or write it down. I'm going to promise you one of those two things. And you can tell what I'm holding. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm Ryan. I'm his older brother. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for making the trip to celebrate Patrick and Heather's special day. It truly means the world to them. Secondly, I'm just going to say this up front. If I stumble through a speech, I'm going to blame it on the high altitude because I'm way better on sea level. All right? Now, with that being said, I'm going to try to keep the speech short, kind of like Patrick's attention span when Heather starts listing chores for him to do. All right? We all know what happens. So, when I got that text, I immediately had this story pop in my mind. And it's one I've never shared before. And it's based around this Heinz ketchup bottle. Now, you got your own special label. This is kind of a gift. It says Patrick and Heather with Established 2025. Don't use it. Save it. Petrify it, please. It came all the way from Pennsylvania because it's a Pittsburgh wedding, right? Now, let's get to how that even works. So, now I got your attention. Let me set the scene. This is the first time Patrick brought Heather around me. He suggested we go to our local diner spot, the Manor Grill. It's so good, right? I thought it was a great idea. So we headed out, grabbed seats at the counter. After looking over the menus, we placed our orders. Then we just started chatting, having a great time. It was shortly after our food arrived, I made what was possibly one of the worst mistakes of my life. Just like any typical Yinzer, I absolutely needed ketchup with my meal. With no ketchup bottle in my reach, I leaned over, looked down the counter, and said, "Hey, Hannah, can you pass me the ketchup?" Within a blink of an eye, my brother grabs that bottle, slams it in front of me, and says, "It's Heather." I mean, I was shaken, I was baffled, and the whole diner was looking at me. I didn't know what to do. But I did know this. It was at that moment I knew my brother loved this girl, and not even his brother was going to ruin it for him. Now let's switch gears. Heather, I'm just going to say it. you hit the jackpot, girl. I mean, look at this stud. He's handsome, he's smart, and he's handy. He's basically your own Chip Gaines. Only instead of building dream houses, he builds anything you find on Pinterest. He does anything you find on Pinterest. It's amazing. But let's be honest, Heather. Before you came around, I used to be one making sure Patrick was fed, somewhat organized, and I did my best to keep him out of trouble. Nick and I were just talking about that. We don't know how you got away with some stuff. You take after Dad a lot in that area. But let's be honest, that was a full-time job as an older brother, and it was a tough gig, but I loved doing it. But over the last few years, not only have I noticed you slowly taking my role, but you're exceeding at it. So here's the real truth. Heather, you made my brother in better ways than I never could. I tried for years and years. It was like trying to train a stubborn puppy. Then all of a sudden you came along, and all of a sudden he's housebroken. He eats real meals, no more pizza rolls. His wardrobe has elevated from t-shirts and sweatpants to khakis and button-downs. He even now showers before leaving the house. Although, he still sometimes forgets to put on the deodorant. We need to work on that. Yes, Rome wasn't built in a day, but everything you've done has come nothing short of miraculous. So please keep it up for all of us. We're relying on you. Heather, to sum it up, you're kind, you've truly taken care of my brother, and I can't be happier to call you my sister-in-law. You are truly Patrick's other half, and tonight you made me the happiest man in the world, but you also made me the happiest. He's yours now. I don't have to carry this weight. I've dealt with him for 3 decades. You need to deal with him for however long this goes. Now, while we're all here surrounded by mountains and breathtaking views, that includes Heather walking down the aisle, let's all raise our glasses. Let's all raise our glasses. Don't cut me off yet. I'm almost done. This is a good one. I might cry, and if I cry, everyone gets a free drink. Patrick and Heather, may this day be the beginning of a love story more beautiful than the scenery around us and more everlasting than the mountains themselves. I love you too. Cheers. I don't even have my drink up here. Give me some. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That was ridiculous. Thank you. Not all that was true.
Hi, everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm Tara, and I have had the privilege of being Heather's best friend since the 4th grade. So I've pretty much been rehearsing this speech in my head since circa 2002. Although at the time it was more about which Backstreet Boys she was going to marry. Luckily for Pat, she made a sacrifice, and here we are. I've had the honor of being by her side through elementary school, middle school, high school, and as if that wasn't enough, we both chose to go to Penn State and live together for 4 years. Still aren't sick of each other. That means I've known her through many phases of life, like her 4th grade wrestling obsession, bangs, emo phases, AIM screen names, shout out Snickers 26, middle school late night gossip. At the time before cell phones, it was a lot of, hi, Mrs. Biasucci, is Heather home? And then college parties and football games, and the list goes on. But through all of these phases, I just couldn't be more excited to be standing here today for the best chapter yet. One thing I've always admired about Heather is her determination, knowing what she wants and planning and working hard to get it. She's always been a leader, She was the captain of our high school soccer team. She led the charge in camping out for all the Penn State football games, even making us paint our stomachs in the snow in the first row. She's always had big dreams about her future and has worked hard to get them. Since we were kids, as long as I remembered, she's always said she wanted to live in the Carolinas, and here they are. We've also been dreaming and talking about boys and relationships our whole lives. I actually found a note here. Dear Butthead, how do I know if he truly likes me? It sounds dumb, but I just don't know. I think I love him. So that was written when we were about 11 and passed up the aisle in class. Thankfully, that relationship, I think, lasted a couple days. Now with Pat, Heather has never had to question the security of their relationship. He's always made her feel safe, and it's truly incredible how they bring out the best in each other. I mean, if you would have told me 10 years ago that Heather would have been to dozens of national parks, had a destination wedding in Colorado, maybe planning a trip to Japan at some point, I would have never believed you. I mean, I was trying to get this girl on a plane for like 20 years, and then Pat comes along, and now she's a world traveler. That just shows how Pat has always encouraged a sense of adventure while also making her feel safe and grounded. Now, Pat, I remember one of the first times that we hung out, what stood out to me was that you said, okay, everybody put your cell phones on the table in the middle of the room in a pile, and let's not touch them the rest of the night. And that really stood out to me, and you've always valued like slowing down, enjoying quality time with the ones you love, and you somehow have the perfect balance of encouraging Heather's dreaming and determination while also bringing such a spontaneous and grounding, calming presence. Because Heather and I have shared so much of our lives together, I've collected a lot of stories, a lot of laughs, a lot of memories that I hold near and dear to my heart, but I know I'm not the only one. So I'd love to invite everyone, just for a minute, to close your eyes and think of your favorite memory with Heather and Pat, whether it's something funny they said or a small kindness you'll never forget. Now open your eyes and look around the room, and you can feel how much love is here in this room for them. So that's the kind of energy I want to surround them with tonight. So to Heather, the Vivas to my Butthead, the AJ to my Brian. We've been through so many phases of life together, and you've just been a constant presence in every single chapter, and I couldn't be more grateful. And even though you didn't end up marrying a Backstreet Boy like we once thought, I think Pat's the next best thing. Yeah. Cheers to bride and groom.
That was great.
Okay. Just a little something, just short. I said, you know what's wild, other than us finally getting married after 8 years, is we have known just about every single person in this room for at least a decade, and for many of you, it's been much, much longer. How lucky are we to say that? We knew this was exactly how we wanted to celebrate our wedding, with the friends and family that have been with us, not only through the bad, but the good, and now the absolute best of times.
But let's be honest. Our knees click, looking at you. Our back aches after side-by-side riding, and bedtime is usually 9 p.m. But tonight, get your party pants on. There's ibuprofen in the bathroom. And we expect to see at least one questionable dance move. Jokes aside, what really matters in this moment is the people that we get to share it with. And as the great Dom Toretto once said, I don't have friends, I got family. Thank you guys all so much from the bottom of our hearts for coming out and celebrating, not just today, but the whole weekend. It means so much to both of us. Yeah. So everybody, finish your drink. And raise a toast. And thanks to everybody that made this possible.